while we look at these two players, why don't we throw it over to the match and see how this is all going to play out between Jukem versus Allister.
Oh, and I'm sad that Burnside isn't here for this, as we're finally seeing the Suicune come back out from Allister. Of course, you know, Burnside and Allister and I were all really good friends because we all come from Suicune. You know, that was our original mains. It's still some of our mains, aka mostly Burnside, but I'm so excited to see this. Let's see how it plays out.
Oh, I know Burnside is absolutely going to have a ball with this one here, too, especially Allister now taking out the pride and true Suicune. I saw this display, too, when I was first exposed to Allister, when he had won the E3 Pokken Tournament Invitation back in 2017. Now being able to showcase it, though, Jukem's off in the corner, and Allister is playing so aggressively right now, trying to close in this gap and not allowing Jukem to really find his footing at all. Trying to go in for a perfect right now, Chef, and the aggressiveness. I love the backtrack, though. I like it coming in from Jukem. That's both respect coming in from both these players. And despite that, Allister still knows that he can close in that gap. He tries to go in for a double grab. He misses it twice. But Jukem now coming in from above can finally find his footing back to gain some of that momentum back.
Yeah, he's still got a pretty difficult path here. He's not building synergy, and actually that counterattack is gonna be it. Allister dominatingly taking the first round, and this is actually a matchup that a lot of the best Suicunes in the world really don't like, so I'm surprised that Allister ended up picking it, but hey, it is working out. And I think the last time that we saw these two play, we did end up seeing this exact matchup on this exact level, but it was a very strong early from Allister, and in the end, Jukem, I believe, took it. Don't quote me on that, but we'll see if whatever I made up in my head right there is going to be a repeat. Right now, though, Allister starting off with a pretty strong burst, and we'll see how far he can take it in this game.
Jukem does have that burst already himself now. Also has to save him. Now Allister, though, catches him with the burst attack. Jukem is going to be taking a good chunk of that damage coming in. Allister, though, is going to be able to keep Jukem cornered over here if he could close in this gap. He does manage to throw it out, as with Snivy, though, coming in. The Leaf Tornado to prevent Allister's approach, and Jukem to close in that gap instead. Although Jukem took a lot of that damage, but he is trying to reverse the situation right now. Back in dual face, he can close in that gap and prevent Allister from being able to get around the forcing it out into the field phase, though he may want to have dwelled that forward in, but he gets called out in the air with an anti-air going in, and Jukem just tries to find his way back in, with Allister making sure that it's absolutely going to be difficult with these zoning tools.
Oh, and here we go. We are going to see the burst come out. The Victini on reversal, that is going to give you, of course, that little bit of a shield as it's going up with its hitbox, but also the fact that it's going to give you guaranteed crits is a really important way that you can counter this light armor that we heard about earlier. But oh, the conversion! That was so good. So you almost don't ever get an actual conversion from Snivy on a grounded opponent, but that timing was perfect, that spacing was perfect, and Jukem knew exactly what he needed to do. Did have to spend his bar, though, to be able to take that round, and Allister now coming in with a full bar button. Well, stick a button,
now,
as they call it.
Stick a making it right here with Allister holding onto that burst, as well as Jukem utilizing the Lapras this time around. Now being able to find his way into forcing Allister to hold shield right there, so that way Jukem could at least try to break in some of that space and get closer to Allister. I like the patience, though, being displayed from Jukem, and the movement as well, but Allister was ready for him right there, winning that trade, and now being able to pull the trigger with the burst. I like the positioning from Jukem. He tries to get away, but there's nowhere for him to run, with Allister at the ready on that grab.
Oh, and another grab! That is so classic Allister. He basically, at points, plays Suicune like a grappler, which is so funny because, honestly, the character has one of the slowest and least damaging grabs in the game. It is maybe the furthest range grab, or one of the furthest range grabs, but overall, the fact that it's so bad means that it opens up Allister to land a lot of those grabs, and it does pay off in the end. So Allister taking the first game on Jukem. I don't think that Allister has really won this matchup in a while, so this would be a pretty big upset.
Yeah, this would actually be quite impressive right here, especially with the way that Allister's been playing. But now Jukem opening things up pretty great right here. The debuff and the buff coming in for Allister, though he actually gets shut down in the air. Jukem was at the ready right there, but Allister just managed to avoid it. Now, reversing the situation, Jukem is playing a lot more aggressively this time around, and it's really working out in his favor going on to this game, too. He's kept him trapped around the corner, but Allister now has a chance to try to go for a reset, and the Snivy, though, is going to prevent him, although the shield does force out the grab from Jukem, knowing that he didn't want to get tossed up in the air like that.
Oh, that was a very weird... I think that maybe it was supposed to be an instant jump Y, but he just grabbed from full screen, got hit for a little bit for it. Not a huge deal. And now Allister just has one more hit left, but he is going to get some Oki from this grab. And now the question is, what's the mix-up? Oh, just went for a meaty, but maybe a little bit mistimed. And this grab, not quite enough. Again, you know, not a hugely high damage character when going for those grabs, but this is going to even up the life. And, oh, lands the jump wide. Just needs to land anything. It's so hard to avoid a bunch of little hits from Suicune. Doesn't get hit by the leaf blade.
He's playing this so safe right here. The Victini coming in, and he does it enough to be able to stop Jukem. He had taken so much of that chip damage already with Allister playing so far away. He was like, all right, you know, I'm going to force you to approach me. You see that timer ticking away. He had no other choice at that moment, and so you saw Jukem get a little too overly aggressive and try to jump in, and that's how Allister found his number. Now, having the lead within the second game already with that first round in the pocket, the burst is already online for both of these players. Jukem is going to give some of that space over, and he tries to close in that gap. He sees that Allister's playing extremely safe, holding onto that shield, and Allister was ready to punish Jukem's aggressive approach, and the respect as well, as you see the way that he's not trying to hold forward. Instead, he's giving some of that space over to Jukem. He's taking so much of that damage. Allister has not even taken any damage this round.
Oh, yeah, working on a perfect. I highly doubt it'll be a perfect in the end, as there is a burst, but now, look at this. He's in field phase, so he knows he can just try to run away as much as possible. Ooh. This is going to be a lot of damage. The field phase burst grab from Sceptile being one of the higher damage grabs in the game, but yeah, now that a lot of this timing has been eaten up from the burst mode, Allister's very safe to go for his own and just needs one more conversion. Great empty jump. He is going to avoid being hit there. And now this is going to be such a hard comeback to make. Allister's got to be... Oh, wait. What's going to happen here? Oh, he gets over it. No punish.
What? The way that he was able to test that too, getting closer onto Allister's space, being able to actually react right there, but Jukem is still taking a lot of that damage, and he's in the worst position right here, although reversing the situation in this dual face with Allister now unable to continue on that pressure, has even things out. Now the Snivy to try to utilize that over-aggression, he does manage to get that hit with the Snivy, but Allister with the weak shield, and now with the grab to close things off, Chef Allister now putting himself in the driver's seat, winning 2 games.
I can't believe he went for the reversal grab, but a perfect call out, and yeah, 2 games up on Jukem right now. That is a statement. Playing the Suicune, I am so excited here, and I don't want to make it sound like I'm rooting against Jukem. Jukem, one of my favorite players of all time, and one of my favorite people just in general, but I mean, you know, as a Suicune player myself, I always have to be so excited to see it come out, as we've seen less and less Suicune over time, and Allister is just putting on a clinic with the character. However, Jukem, no matter how down he is never out. He can easily make this 3-0 comeback. It wouldn't be the first time, and this is a great way to start it.
Yeah, especially after seeing Jukem's performance within last August at the Pokemon Players Cup for Pokken Tournament DX. Overall, he got second place, and taking Shadowcat to the very last game right here, this is a player who absolutely knows and has that experience on trying to work around making this comeback right now. You can already see it being played out with Jukem playing extremely defensive, but also trying to mix in that perfect timing with that aggressive approach. Allister now is going to be playing a lot more keep away as he notices, you know, now he has to play a lot more defensively. He is nearly there, and now cleaning things up. Jukem takes this round over Allister, finally putting himself back in the driver's seat and pushing the pedal to the most.
Yeah, that was a pretty strong round, and I mean, it just really goes to show you, you know, really, even if you're down 2 games, you can play like you have basically just started the set, and that is, oh my god, that was an amazing bait. No, he hung into it. I thought that was going to totally avoid it. I honestly don't even know how that hit. It was a good bait, but not the right one, and so that was going to be a lot of damage. Allister's burst already paying off very, very well. But Jukem does have his own if he wants to use it. He's not too scared. You're generally not too scared of a Suicune in burst. You're just scared of his burst attack. And now that it's gone, you don't really need to like play too specially defensive against it. And so Jukem can try to save it for that third round if he needs to.
Right now, too, Jukem is finally finding himself to gaining some of that momentum, although Allister has him exactly where he wants and being able to reverse the situation, gets the grip, gets that combo coming forward. A lot of damage coming in, but Allister manages to get that shield in and to be able to stop Jukem's momentum short. He has that burst meter, though, that he may want to pull the trigger off to close out this game if he finds himself in a tough position like right now.
Oh, that is almost going to be it. Now, going to get the guarantee cure from Victini, going to get the meter, going to get the life, and the grab again, and Allister is going up on match point. But I cannot stress enough how cool that moment was earlier. I'm sure Burnside's going to talk about it after this, but the Giga Drain to punish the Mirror Coat to stop the critical from the counterattack, that is a lot of stuff to explain, but like I said, I'm sure Burnside will talk about it. And here we go, match point for Allister. This is a tough field phase, though, and he's got to get past it. I mean, hey, getting hit, I guess, is one way to get out of that field phase, but not the one that you really want to. And now a great set of CDCs from Jukem, taking him all the way to the corner. And Allister being on match point is in a very tough spot already.
Yeah, keeps getting shut down here, too. Now Allister using the burst now forward to allow himself to at least close in this gap that Jukem continuously keeps spacing Allister out right now. Gets that grab, gonna be able to swap it right back over to field phase here and close in this gap with this burst meter that he's also holding on to. He also has the Snivy to force Allister back into shield, probably get a grab in to force that defensive option out. I like the way that Jukem's playing this. He knows that Allister wants to go in for the approach because at the same time right now, he's low in that health department and Jukem is stuck against the wall. Allister finally putting himself back in a position where he can try to utilize his ability to actually apply this pressure. But look at Jukem. He's running. He's forcing Allister to come to him here and utilizing the Snivy now with this tornado. He's going to be able to actually force Allister to play a lot more defensively with only 1 HP.
Oh, but okay, this damage is starting to add up. There's not a lot of time left. Allister needs to force some damage here. The burst is going to activate. 10 seconds is enough. This is going to be some chip. Oh, no, he went for a read, activating the counterattack before the burst attack came out. And so that is, I mean, without a doubt, I think a burst attack can do 1 HP. But that means Jukem is going to get on board. And now that Jukem is definitely locked into this Sceptile at this point because it is the final game. And now Allister can go to any other pick he wants, but he's going to stick with the Suicune. I mean, hey, it's been working out. I feel like it would be weird to switch. He's still got another chance, even if he loses this one. So I do like this. Plus, of course, I personally just want to see more Suicune. But here we go. Jukem could make the reverse sweep. Like I said, he's done it before. He will do it again. But will this be another one of those times?
Can he carry on some of that momentum that he built in for himself in that last game, at least into this one? Because Allister right now, he just needs to take one more game to progress through that winner's bracket. Although Jukem, though, is putting up a good fight, making some adaptation, but he's taking a lot of that damage with Allister closing this gap. I like the spacing. He knew that Jukem wanted to counter that, and he actually tried to space it out, but Jukem finding that hit in and getting that counter is going to be able to set things up to take in a lot of that damage, and Allister with that debuff too.
Oh, and a nice conversion, getting the tipper of the Leaf Blade, and it's going to wall, and then he's going to get the conversion after that. Everything was super nice about that. He needed that, too. He was able to take back that life lead, which is going to be so important. Even though there's 30 seconds left, there is a chance it could always go to time with these two.
I like the way that this is going on right here. Jukem also holding onto that burst. He's going to be able to pull the trigger on it, especially keeping Allister against the wall. He wants to make sure he could solidify his position and holding the lead for this game right now, especially since it's a dire game at that could determine him going to that lower bracket. Allister, though, gets the cross-up, keeps Jukem against the wall, closes in that gap, though, with Victini. It's going to be able to heal some of that HP and also be able to utilize the crit that he could put onto Jukem. The Snivy now, he's going to try to get out of that radius, and he does so successfully. But it's just a matter of forcing Jukem to approach him here. There's 2 seconds, and he has less HP than Jukem. Can he do something about this, or is it going to be time's up?
Oh, that's going to connect!
No way!
And the very final 0.21 seconds of the round, Allister making the huge risk, activating that synergy burst, but now he's gonna go on match point again. That paid off perfectly, and that has to feel so good. Allister has to be absolutely in control of this momentum. Jukem, I mean, he's not gonna be really playing out at any point, but I mean, that can't feel good for sure. And he doesn't even have full synergy going into this. He does have quarter control. Oh no, Allister thought that jump Y was gonna hit. It didn't, but at least there's not too big of a combo coming out from Jukem. Picks him up with the grab instead, and he's still gonna get his field phase Oki, so not looking too bad. He just needs to get towards that synergy burst, and now he does have it.
I'm honestly still so appalled after what I just saw right there from Alex. It was the best option he could have gone for. And now, though, Jukem doesn't let it deter him from trying to see the end goal in sight here. Has that burst and is keeping Allister up in the air. Does get that defense debuff onto Allister as well. And the sniping to try to go in for the follow-up. He's forcing Allister to reposition here. But the phase shift is going to allow Allister to try to force Jukem into this pressure against the wall forward, as well as the fact that he has to be wary of Jukem's burst, that he could pull the trigger off if he finds himself in a bad position right here, and he does pull the trigger on it. Does have the burst meter now that he has turned on, and now being able to try to force himself out of this bad situation. Allister's not giving up, though. He's able to play a lot more defensively. He does the empty hop into the defensive option, holding that shield, and now he gets called out, though. Oh, the revenge going in. Can Jukem get the follow-up? Allister answers back with a burst himself, and can he close this up? This could make it or break it right now if you're Allister and closing out this game.
Oh, and he lands the 8Y. It's the burst that's going to connect on the wall. I think that's going to be enough, and even if it wasn't, there's only 3 seconds left, and that means that Allister is going to win the set 3-1 and advance to the winners finals to take on Shadowcat. Wow, what a set and what a showing from that Suicune. I am so curious why he went to it right off the bat, but there were so many clutch moments in that set from the like 0.21 seconds.